DreAllDay.com.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. We here, Q&A Thursday. This is number 3. For those who don't know, it's not going to be every Thursday. It's probably maybe every other Thursday or every third Thursday or whenever we do it. Whenever I do it, it's going to come out. It's going to be on a Thursday. So you just look out on Thursdays. Either it's there or it ain't. And now, when we get to these questions for this week, when I pulled this up, I was looking at... I saw how many comments it was before I actually started looking at the comments. And I said, wow, we got a lot of comments this time. But then what I saw was there was a lot of people coming on, well, not a lot, but a few people coming on and answering questions that was addressed to me. So this is how it goes. When I post a video on here and somebody asks a question to me and you go on and you respond to the question as if you were me, you will be removed from the premises. We will never hear from you again. Why? Because I'm the boss in this establishment, and that's just the way it's going to be. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into the questions. First question, Storm Thing 22. Are ankle weights bad for you at a young age? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. Anything can be bad for you if it's used improperly. That could be food, it could be certain types of basketball training, certain types of off-the-court training, anything. Anything you can think of could be bad for you if you use it improperly. So to answer your question, it ain't really to say it's bad for you, just ankle weights themselves. It just depends on how you use them. So when you get the ankle weights, usually they come with some instructions on what you can do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do with them. Or you can ask somebody that has worked with ankle weights, hey, what did you do? How did this work for you? Or something like that. Me personally, I never use ankle weights. Some people use them because I guess they think it makes them jump higher when they don't have them on or whatever. I never use ankle weights, so ain't really that much more I can tell you. But if you use them properly, they'll help you. If you use them the wrong way, they'll hurt you. So it just depends on what you do with them. Same thing as like money. Money's good if you do good things with it. It's bad if you do bad things with it. Next question. I'm about to try for the pro team. Will a defense handbook help me improve my defense a lot? Well, whoever you are asking this question, if you're about to try for a pro team, but you decide to come on here and ask me, will the handbook help you? Well, you just wasting time. Either you better go figure something out. If you need to work on your defense, either get the handbook or don't, but you need to go work on your game. Don't wait for me to answer your question before you decide if you're going to put in the work or you're not going to put in the work. Of course, I'm going to tell you the hoop handbook defense will help your defense, but you got to put the work in. So go get the handbook, go put the work in. Now, it ain't my fault. And if you go to tryouts, you work out with the handbook, you go to tryouts and you're getting your ass handed to you, it ain't my fault. It ain't the handbook's fault. That's your fault. Does that mean your D wasn't that good probably before you got the handbook? So it ain't automatically going to make you a good defensive player in a week. You got to work on your defensive skills and all the skills that come with playing defense that go with your physical abilities and maximize that. So stop wasting time. Don't wait for me to answer you before you make a decision. Good luck on your tryout. Whoever that was asked that question. Now, Stefan from Macedonia asked a follow-up question. He wants to know how to create his own shot because he scores a lot of points on floaters and layups. He wants to have a pull-up jump shot. And when they play man-to-man, it's easy, but how does he do it against his own defense? It's not really a how to do it, Stefan. You have to go into the game and play and learn. Basketball is not like reading a textbook. It's like, well, if you do this, then this will happen. If you do that, then that will happen. Basketball is a dynamic game, which means the situation is always changing. And what you did the last trip down the court, that situation will never exist again exactly the same as it was before. Because even if the players are in the exact same position, they have a different experience now. Because whatever happened that last play has been added to their experience. Now that's part of their experience. So now if you try the exact same thing again the same way, it may not be successful for you because they've seen it now. So no experience is exactly the same in basketball. Like I said, it's a dynamic game that's always changing. So you have to be a dynamic player. Which means, so if you got the ball and the guy's on you, and you know you're good shooting going to the left, maybe you try going to the left. But if he cuts you off, you got to be able to go to the right. If you ain't got no right hand, or you can't shoot going to your right, then he just stops you. So you have to develop all these skills so that when you get into a game, no matter what the situation is that you face, you have some type of response for it with your skills. This is not like, okay, if he does this, I got this planned out, and if he does this, I got that planned out. That's not how the game works. So you got to work on all the skills you want to have so that in the game, no matter what happens, you can call on any one of those skills like that without thinking about it. Because if you got to think about what move or skill to use, it'll be too late. By the time you think of it, the play's over, the opportunity's gone, the ball going the other way, the coach pulling you out the game for messing up. Next question. Someone asked a request of me. Do I have a rough guide on a proper diet before a game? He said he played some games, and on the fourth game, he started crossing everybody like crazy, but he was burning protein, so he had a sudden source of energy. But during the other games, he didn't do so well. So his question is, do I have a rough guide on proper diet before a game? Well, what you can do is, since you're on the internet, you can Google whatever you want to have before a game. If you want to have protein, you want to have carbs or calories, whatever it is you're looking to have, you just Google it. Pre-workout food, things like that for basketball, pre-workout for weightlifting, or just pre-workout energy foods. There's 100 different websites / blog posts, web pages that tell you exactly the types of foods you can eat before a workout, before a game. I'll look some up myself. All you gotta do is Google it. You're on the internet. You can find an answer very easily. It'll take you less than 30 seconds. Next question is asked, what is important in dunking? Palming the ball or vertical jump? I can't palm the ball, but I can get my hand above the rim, but I can't dunk. Well, your problem is you need to jump higher. If you can't dunk, you need to jump higher. I don't palm the ball when I dunk, hardly ever, unless I'm playing with a ball that got really sticky grip. I never pound the ball when I dunk. I can dunk still because I can jump high enough to dunk the ball. So if you jump in, the ball slipping out of your hand and you can't finish a dunk, your vertical ain't high enough. I mean, that's just plain simple common sense, and you already know that. So now you heard it from me. So go work on your vertical. Get the jump manual, DreAllDay.com/jump. Get it. You get 5 free hoop handbooks or free DVD, ball handling DVD, any one of the mixtapes. I put the video out last week so you can look at it and see. Just go to DreAllDay.com, click on the link at the top that says free stuff, and it's explained all there in detail. Just watch the video, follow the instructions, and you got it. Kevin from New Jersey. What do I think about during the game? Do I think about the moves I'm going to do, what type of shot I'm going to shoot, or do I just go in the game with a clear mind and improvise as things happen? Kevin, this is how it works. Just like I said a couple minutes ago, in a game, you don't plan out what you're going to do. You can have an overall strategy, like, yeah, I know this team wants to keep us out of the lane, so I'm going to try to drive in the lane and draw fouls. Or I know this guy, they don't have a backup for their big man, so I'm going to see if I can get him in foul trouble. Or I know they like to pack in the lane, so we're going to get open jump shots, so I'm going to be ready to shoot. You can have a strategy like that, but you can't go into a game thinking, all right, when I get the ball over here, I'm going to try this left to right crossover or something like that, because then you're planning out your moves, and if the situation doesn't unfold the way you need it to for you to execute your move, then what are you going to do? Then you're stuck. So what you had to do before the game, Kevin, weeks before the game, months, years before the game, is develop enough skills that no matter what you see in the game, you have a skill that can react to that circumstance. So work on your game, so when the game comes, the real game, you will have the game, as in skills, to respond to the situation. So no, you don't plan out your moves, you don't think about exactly where you're going to shoot what. Sometimes it may work out, but overall you got to have enough skills to respond to whatever happens, because you can't control the other 9 guys on the court. You might think you know what they're going to do, but it's unpredictable. If they do something different than what you think they're going to do, then what you going to do? You got to be able to respond. Next question, Ryan from Scotland. Who inspired me to pick up basketball? Who do I think will win the finals this year? No person inspired me to pick up basketball. I just started playing because that was what was in my environment. And who do I think will win the finals this year? When it gets down to 2 teams, which it might be by the time y'all see this video, I will post a video before the finals start saying who I think is going to win. Next question, Raymond from the Philippines. He has a problem. He's good in playing basketball, but he lost his confidence because he got injured. He got injured driving to the basket. Now he's scared to drive to the basket because he don't want to get injured again. Do I have any suggestions? Well, I'm sure you already know what you need to do, Raymond from the Philippines. You need to start driving to the basket. You got 2 choices. Either A, you're going to get over your fear and start driving to the basket again, get your confidence back and be a good player again like you were before. Or B, you're going to let your fear consume you. You're not going to drive to the basket anymore. You won't have your confidence and you won't be a good player anymore. That's it. Ain't nothing I can do or say that's going to make you have confidence again. Nothing anybody else can do or say. Either you're going to drive to the basket or you're not. And you already know that, so now you heard it from me. Drive to the basket. Next question. For some good energy in the morning, Honey Nut Cheerios or a bowl of Muesli, M-U-E-S-L-I. I don't even know what that is. If you want good energy in the morning, try both. See which one works better for you. Our bodies are all different. Some people respond to Honey Nut Cheerios. Some people respond to muesli, whatever the hell that is. Some people eat oatmeal. Some people eat a banana. I know people that don't eat nothing. They get up, don't eat nothing, don't drink nothing. They go to the gym and work out, and they feel good. So you got to find out what works for you. Next question. What type of training in the gym should I do if I'm training to be a point guard? There's no certain training for any certain position in basketball. Just like there's no certain moves like I talked about before. There's no such thing as a point guard move. No such thing as a point guard training. Not to me personally. There are some people that think there is, but me personally, I don't. If you're a basketball player, there are basketball specific movements. Every basketball player does this. They shoot the ball. We all pass the ball. We all grab rebounds and protect the ball. We all dribble the ball. We all got to get low. We all got to work on getting low in our stance, dropping our hips, and moving our feet quickly. These are all moves that are specific to the sport of basketball. It has nothing to do with what position you play. So your question is very broad. What type of training do I do if I want to be a point guard? You want to be a basketball player, period. You do the workouts that basketball players do. And I provided more than enough information for you here on YouTube with over 2,500 videos. So just look through them, look at the Hoop Handbook, look at my website. All the information is there. You just got to use it. And you asking me questions, all the information is already right there in your hands. You just got to take advantage of it. Next question, Derek from Georgia, United States, Georgia, not the country. What motivated me to go full out, work on my game? What are my hobbies, or what do I like to do when I'm not playing ball? Motivated me to go full out is just that I took a liking to the game of basketball. I started loving the game. I like the competition. That's what is my passion, the competition. Happened to be in basketball. And I knew if I wanted to get better, because I saw people around me that were better than me, I knew I could get better if I just went and practiced on my own. Nobody told me to. Nobody said this is what you do. I didn't read a book. There wasn't no YouTube site. It wasn't no YouTube video that I looked at. Nobody's website. It wasn't none of that. No program that I bought that got mailed to my house. None of that. I just knew it in my head, in my heart, that if I just practice on my game, I can get better. So that's all it was. He asked, what do I like to do when I'm not playing basketball? I watch basketball on TV. I read a lot. I'm on the computer a lot. And I relax a lot because I work hard a lot, so I need a lot of time to relax and get my body ready to go again whenever that might be. Next day, a couple hours, next week, whatever. Thanks for the question, Derek. Robert from North Carolina. He says, what if I'm short? The coach doesn't want me on his team because of my height, and I don't want to do anything other than play basketball. Oh, Robert, you got a couple choices. One choice is you can stop using your height as an excuse and get better, because if you are a really good player, you'll be on the team no matter what size you are. Whatever height you are, there's another player somewhere in the world your height that's on the basketball team. So your height is not an excuse. Another choice, you go to another school. If you really think the coach don't like you because of your height, go play for somebody else's school. Number three, if you can't go to somebody else's school, I guess you ain't going to play basketball. Since your height is keeping you from being on the team, that's your excuse. And you're not going to another school, and I guess you won't be on the basketball team. And the fourth option is you could go talk to the coach, find out what it is you can do. Ask the coach, what can I do to get on the basketball team? What skills do I need to show? What do I need to be able to do to be an asset to your team to make you say, hey, I need, what's this guy's name? I need Robert on the basketball team. Go and ask him the question exactly as I just said it. Ask him with some confidence, and he'll tell you what you need to do. And whatever he tells you, go work on it. Show it if you already got it, or develop it, then show it next time you get a chance. And you'll be on the basketball team. That's it. Don't use a height as an excuse. There are no excuses. I talked about this in a motivation video many weeks ago. If you look through the motivation playlist, we got a motivation DVD coming out too. But the point is, there are no excuses. If you want to play basketball, there's nothing else you want to do, like you say, Robert, then you're going to figure out a way, or you're going to make an excuse. It's either A or B. And it ain't my business to make it happen for you. You got to make it happen for yourself. Next question. I'm a 5'10" sophomore point guard. I want to play varsity next year. I'm going to play varsity next year. How often should I work on my game? And what is a good workout to do every time I'm on the court? Well, D-Wavy13, this question is kind of ridiculous. Because number one, I got, like I said, over 2,000 videos on YouTube. So if you ask me what workout you should do, I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I've given you over 2,000 examples of what you can do. You can look through them, find what works for you, and use it. That's basically what the purpose of these videos is. You look through it, see if something works for you. Maybe this move is for you. Maybe this workout's not for you. Maybe this tip can apply to your game. Maybe this one doesn't. Pick and choose what works for you and then you go use it in whatever way you see fit. I got the hoop handbooks for people that want a specific workout program, so you go to hoophandbook.com and get those yourself. Pick and choose what works for you. And that's basically it. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. You got to go in the gym and figure it out. So that's the same thing I did. Ain't nobody tell me how to work out. Wasn't no YouTube when I was a sophomore in high school. Wasn't no YouTube. It wasn't no Facebook. It wasn't nobody for me to email. I just worked on my game and I got better. That's the same thing you got to do. Next question, John from Canada. I keep getting pushed around in games. I want to gain muscle, but I'm unaware of what to do. I'm only 13. And a few people voted on his comment. Well, John from Canada, I got a strength training hoop handbook coming out that is exactly for people like you, even at your age, people older than you. It's strength training, like actual strength training. There's going to be details on it. The video's coming soon. Actually, by the time y'all see this, the video might already be out. But the video's coming, strength training hoop handbook. Just look out for it. If you ain't seen it yet, wait for it. It's coming. Thanks for the question, John. Jonathan from Texas. What can I do to practice finishing at the rim over bigger defenders? I can finish on people my size or a little bit bigger. I'm only 5'5". I can get into the paint. I'm not afraid of contact, but I get my shot blocked a lot by the bigs. Well, one thing you should do is learn how to develop a floater, develop a 15-foot jump shot so you don't have to get all the way to the rim to score, and use your floater so you can shoot over big guys. Those are more specific details. What you can do is get the scoring over bigger defenders hoop handbook. I made a whole workout program for people with your specific problem, scoring over bigger players. In general, what you need to do is work on your fucking game. I mean, I don't know how many different ways I can say it to y'all. Either y'all ain't listening or people just don't get it, or maybe you new around here. If you want to get better at a skill, you got to put the work in. I can't tell you exactly what to do. You got to figure it out, because I'm not you. Your situation ain't mine. My situation ain't yours. I don't know you. I don't know who you playing against. I don't know what you can do, what you can't do, and I don't need to know. You need to know so you can develop your game for what you want to accomplish. So if you're getting your shot by big guys, to get more detailed into your question, learn how to make mid-range pull-up jump shots. Learn how to pass, because at your size, you're probably not going to score all the points. You probably want to be a distributor, ball handler, and guy that can consistently make outside shots, free throws, and handle the ball under pressure. Those are things somebody your size needs to be able to do on a basketball team. If I'm a coach, I'm not looking at you to be my leading scorer. I just want you to control the ball, because if you can't control the ball, you're on the bench. And another thing, develop the floater. If you do get in the lane, you need to score at your size, you ain't jumping over nobody. And it's going to be a lot of people, most people bigger than you. And the higher levels you go, the better they're going to be. So you need to develop a floater so you can get the ball up over the defenders and make the shot. Develop it, and develop it to the point that you don't miss it. So keep practicing until you don't miss. And there's nobody that doesn't miss. So I mean, you're going to be practicing forever, just like every basketball player. Next question. James from England. He's 16, 6 feet 1 inches. What can get me noticed more for my scoring ability? What can get him noticed more? Either A, his scoring ability, or B, his teamwork. Well, James, why does it have to be one or the other? You can be a good team player with good teamwork, and you can be a good scorer. Michael Jordan was a good scorer, and he's a good team player. He works within the framework of a team. Any player, I mean, any good player you can name. Kobe, Kevin Durant, LeBron, D. Wade, Derrick Rose, Paul Pierce, everybody. Kyrie Irving, any good player. Chris Paul, Tim Duncan. Any good player they play within the framework of a team, because they play on teams that win consistently, and they're the best player, and they do their thing individually. They get their points, they get their, their highlights. I see the YouTube mixes of all those guys that I mentioned. So you can do either. A good team is looking for good players. So you got to be a player that can fill the need of a team. When a team looks at you, they got to be able to say, he can do something that we can use on our club. Let's pick him up. So just show your game, and if you got game, the team's going to find you. So you don't worry about getting noticed. Worry about having game. A lot of players ask me about getting noticed, and what they really need to worry about is developing their game, because if they had the right skills, they would be getting noticed. So your skills if nobody's really noticing you, then maybe you just don't have the skills that they need. And if you do have the skills they need, they don't notice you. Maybe you just need to be seen more doing what you're doing. So keep doing it. If you keep doing it consistently, eventually somebody's going to see you. That's just how it goes. Next question. Any idea how to beat someone who has more size on you? He's 145 pounds, and he's playing against somebody that's about 200 pounds. and an inch taller. Any idea how to beat someone that is in that circumstance? Well, if you got game, you'll beat them. It don't matter what size they are. I got a friend that's, if y'all watch my one-on-one videos, I was playing my man. He got like 70 pounds on me. I was beating him with no problem. So it ain't about size. Him, and he's taller than me by about an inch, the same way that you said. So just because somebody weighs more than you and they taller than you doesn't automatically mean they should beat you in basketball. If they beating you, they probably got more game than you. So what you need to do is work on your game, get better at basketball so that they won't be beating you, and that his size, your opponent's size, won't be your excuse for losing. Next question, who's my favorite rapper right now? My favorite rapper is 50 Cent. Next question, Tariq from New York. I'm 16 and 5'8". Everyone I play ball with is at least 6'3". What would be a good strategy to play defense against them? Well, number one thing you can do is get low. You got a lower center of gravity than those guys, so get lower to the ground. And when they put the ball on the floor, that's their best chance to attack when they're dribbling the ball. If they shield you with their body and maybe back you down or have good post game, they probably going to be scoring on you because they're bigger than you. I mean, if I got a 5'8" guy on me, if I'm dribbling in front of him, that's just, I'm playing around. If I'm going to get serious, I just want to score on him with no BS. I'm just going to turn my back to him, back him down as far as I can. I don't have to back him under the rim. If I can get to 15 to 17 feet, even that far, I can score on him because there's nothing he can do to affect my shot. So the best thing you can do, Tariq from New York, is get low and attack their dribble when they put the ball on the floor. That's your number one advantage because you're lower to the ground than them. So develop your quickness, develop your hand speed, because if you don't have those, you ain't going to get far at your size. Next question, Andrew from New York. Sometimes when I play ball with certain people, I feel like I can't do anything. When I play with another group, I feel like I'm the best in the world. How can I feel confident at all times? I talked about in my confidence video, confidence comes from actually having done something and you know that you can make it happen. So the only way you're going to feel confident playing against that group that you don't do well against is by actually doing well against them. And I would venture to guess that you do well with one group because you're pretty much better than them, and you don't do well with the other group because they all better than you. So you know what the answer to that is. You know what the bridge from A to B is. Y'all know what it is. We can say it together. Work on your game. Develop some skills. Figure out what it is they can do that you can't do, and fill those holes. That's basically all it is to it. Thank you for the question, Andrew. Next question, AJ from New Orleans. Any tips on recovery? I lift weights. I'm not going to be sore the next morning. If anything I can do to at least make the recovery time shorter. AJ, yes, there are things you can do. Number one, make sure you drink a lot of water. Get some protein in your body because protein is food for the muscles. Stretch. If you got a foam roller or something that can roll on your muscles, like there's like this stick, I don't even know what it's called, that you roll on the muscles, or a foam roller, or a really good stretch. Those are the things you can do to help recover from soreness. Protein shakes. People that like to take protein shakes. Just any type of protein which you get in regular food. You can Google what foods you can get protein in. Very easy to find. Like I said, stretch, water, and you need rest time. I mean, that's when the body gets stronger. When you work out, your muscles break down, and when you rest, your muscles get built back up. So you got to make sure you get the proper rest. Not always going to be able to go from one workout to the next without the rest. So your body's just going to keep breaking down. You'll get weaker. You won't get stronger. Next question. What finger or fingers do you think are most important while shooting? That question has no answer. There's no finger or fingers that are important when shooting. You shoot with your entire hand. You just got to make the shot. If you're thinking about your fingers, you're really getting into too much detail about how to shoot the ball. That's not your problem. So I'm guessing that you're probably having problems shooting. It don't have nothing to do with your fingers. Just got to do with the fact that you ain't putting enough work. That's all there is to it. Shooting is repetition. So once you get your form down, you got to shoot and shoot and shoot until you can't miss. That's all there is to it. Ain't got nothing to do with your fingers or anything else. Wherever you got that from, it ain't got. Whoever told you that, stop listening to that person. Work on your shot if you want to get better at shooting. Next question. You're a small guy, you post someone up. Do you think you need technique or strength to finish off? Why do you have to have one or the other? You can have technique and strength. Most importantly, you need technique, because no matter how strong you are, if you don't have the technique to make a layup, then you ain't scoring. You could be the strongest guy in the world. I mean, you take one of these guys off those bodybuilding competitions and have them post up, ain't nobody going to move them out of the paint because they pretty strong, but can they make a layup? Probably not. So technique, I would say, is the most important, but you can also have strength. You don't have to trade technique for strength or trade strength for technique. You can be both. Work on your post game. If you got enough post moves, you ain't got to be the strongest guy. I mean, look at somebody like, Kevin Durant or Tim Duncan. They're not the biggest, strongest guys in the world. They're guys bigger and stronger than them, but they score. Pau Gasol is a good example. He's a kind of skinny guy. I mean, he's athletic, but he's pretty thin. But you see how he scores in the paint. Because he has great footwork. He has one of the best footwork skill sets of anybody playing basketball in the world. And he can finish with both hands from anywhere around that basket area, from left side to the right side to the middle with either hand. So he's a very dominant scorer, and I think against Team USA this summer, he's going to get him trouble. So just develop your post game. You get the Post Moves Hoop Handbook, or you can look at my Post Moves playlist on YouTube. Next question. Ricky from Chicago. How do I get better playing 5-on-5 at the park? I never was on a team, but I feel that I practice a lot. I'm catching up to guys. When there's more than 3 people on the opposite team, I feel so crowded, I make stupid decisions. How do I play up to my capabilities? Well, Ricky, what you need to do is stop playing 3-on-3 where you're comfortable and start playing 5-on-5 where you're having the problems. See, the only way you're going to get through a problem is to address it head on. You can't go around the problem. You can't avoid the problem. You can't get somebody else to handle the problem for you. You got to go straight through the problem. So your problem is playing 5-on-5. So what you should do, number one, is keep playing 5-on-5 so you can develop your game and get better at it. Because that's the same thing I did. When I was young, I wasn't good at 5-on-5 at first because I had never played 5-on-5. I was used to playing maybe 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. So I kept playing 5-on-5. I was bad. I would have bad games. I missed shots, turn the ball over, not score no points in the game. Sometimes not get picked, but you got to keep playing. Eventually you get better, you get better, you get better, and eventually you're one of the better players in the 5-on-5. That's just the cycle that you got to go through. If you want to be good at basketball, you're going to go through a period of failure of making good plays, failure of messing up in games, failure of not being confident. These are the things that happen when you start out with something and you become experienced at it. You got to go through the process. Next question. Stefan from Serbia. He's 16, very athletic, 6 feet tall, and a point guard. I work on my game in shows and scrimmages and exhibitions. When I play with my friends, I score all the points. I shoot well, take it to the basket. When it comes to the real games for his school, he doesn't perform as well. He's not as aggressive. He don't take it to the hoop or shoot. I know I'm capable of doing something. I don't want to be perceived as a ball hog. Well, first of all, Stefan, if you're not playing as well in your high school games as you do with your friends, that's because you're comfortable playing with your friends and you're not comfortable in the high school games. Only way you're going to get comfortable in the high school games is not by watching a video or having somebody else tell you something or reading a book. You only get confident at doing something by doing it over and over and over again. It's like if you talk to a girl, the first time you talk to a girl that you meet on the street or something, you might be real nervous and stumbling over your words. But then as you talk to more and more girls, eventually you get comfortable talking to a girl to the point that you don't even think about it. It's nothing. Same thing with playing in live games at your school or for your club team or whoever you play for, any of y'all out there. You just got to keep playing in more games. That's the number one thing you do. As far as your ball hog comment, you're saying that you don't play hard because you don't want to be, or you don't play up to your capabilities because you don't want to be perceived as a ball hog. Well, I don't know what you consider a ball hog. I hear some people say stuff like ball hog, but who cares? If you're a good player and you're the best scorer, you should be taking all the shots. Like if somebody says Kobe's a ball hog, I say, he's not a ball hog. That's the strategy of the team. He's the best scorer. He's the one that should be taking the shots. Or whoever. You can substitute Kobe's name for whatever other player you want to talk about. It's not being a ball hog if you're the best at doing something and you're the one doing it the most. That's just the way it works. So if you're worried about being a ball hog, you probably won't ever reach your potential, Stefan. So you need to extirpate that out of your mind, thinking that I'm a ball hog if I play up to my capabilities. If they're your capabilities, then you should be playing up to them. And if you stop playing to that level, your level's here, and you decide you ain't want to go here because you don't want people to think something about you, then your capabilities is this. This is your capability now. If you say being a ball hog keeps you from going from here to here, then this is who you are. Now, if you forget about the ball hog thing, maybe this is who you are, but if this is what you want to be, then that's what you're going to be. So you got to make a decision. Next question. I started doing plyometrics this Monday. I do it for an hour to an hour and a half at times, and in 4 to 6 weeks, I want to be able to dunk. I only need 2 more inches and about 6 inches to dunk with 2 hands. When do I take my rest to recover? I do it 5 times a week when I go to school. I play basketball on the weekends. I also go after school. Well, this person wants me to design a workout program and rest program for you. That's not what I do. I would have to know a whole lot more details about what you're doing. Not only when you do it and how much you do it, but exactly what you're doing, along with everything else you're doing, in order to tell you when you need to take rest. But that's not what I do, and I'm not concerned with what you do or how much you're doing. I don't need to know that information, so don't send it to me. You got to listen to your body. I talked about this before in the video. I talked about rest, and also a blog post on DreAllDay.com. You have to listen to your body and know when to take rest. That's something for me personally. Like, I like to work out a lot, but sometimes I got to know, like, okay, today I need to fall back. Maybe I'm not going to do this, or maybe I'm not going to do that, or maybe tomorrow I won't do this as much, or maybe I'll do a little bit less of that. You got to listen to your body and know when to take rest and when to push yourself further, when to go harder. So that's basically the answer to your question. Listen to your body and listen to yourself. You got to know, because only you know really how you feel. Nobody else can tell you how you feel. Next question. Tony from New Mexico. Do I have a specific diet that I follow? If so, can I explain? Answer to your first question is no. So I guess that negates the second question. There's not a specific diet that I follow. I pretty much eat what I want. I eat relatively healthy. I eat candy. Sometimes I eat cakes and stuff like that. I eat a lot of fruit. That's pretty much it. Ain't nothing specific. Nothing more specific I can tell you. I'm probably going to come out with a nutrition hoop handbook in the future, but not yet. But it's coming in the future, maybe. Next question. Jim from Philly. Jim is a decent ball handler, and he can beat his man to the basket, but once he gets past the top of the zone to get in the paint, there are much taller players there. He's only 5'10". Do I have any tips for finishing on defenders who are much taller than you? Well, Jim, you can address the question that I answered earlier. Somebody asked that exact same question. If you listen to the rest of the video, you already heard it. Next question. Hillman from Hong Kong. What are the most effective plays you would recommend for a 3-on-3 game? All right, Hillman, first of all, you got to change your completely change your mindset. There are no plays that I can tell you for a 3-on-3 game that will necessarily work for you. I don't know you or your teammates or who you're playing against, because that's how you develop plays. You watch basketball on TV. The coach on the team draws up plays based on what the other team can do and based on his own personnel. What can my guys do? Do I got shooters? Do I got post guys? I got ball handlers? What do I have? That's how you develop the plays. You don't just take any random play and just do it just because you heard of a play. So the best thing you can do, you and your 2 teammates for a 3-on-3 game, is have some skills so that you're not on the internet wondering how you can win a 3-on-3 game. If y'all got skills, y'all going to win anyway. You don't need to run plays in a 3-on-3, just play. Set screens, space the floor out, and if you got game, you'll win. If you don't got game, you're going to lose. That's basically all there is to it. Next question. Who is the most challenging player or team I ever faced? The most challenging player? I guess I mean the best player. I faced a lot of good players. The best player I ever faced at the time, relative to where we were at, I'd probably say it was Anthony Parker. He used to play. He won EuroLeague MVP multiple times, and he still plays in the league. He played for the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. He's older now, but when I played against him, the time I played with him, well, actually we was on the same team. The time I played with him, he was really good. He dominated the run. Damn near didn't miss any shots. Basically made it look easy. That was the best I've ever seen a guy at that moment that I was playing relative to everybody else. Because he was the only NBA guy there at that time, and I played in runs where it was all NBA guys. So they wasn't as dominant over everybody the way he was that day over everybody else. So that's the answer to that question. Will from Sydney, Australia. He wants to ask me about shooting 3-pointers. He's been playing for 2 years, and he was a position forward. But he recently started playing guard. He wants to improve his 3-point range. But how do I start? Can I get right into it? Should I start off closer, take mid-range, and build up my shoot 3-pointer range? Well, Will, if you can't make a 3-pointer right now, stop worrying about 3-pointers. Just because you play guard doesn't mean you need to shoot 3-pointers. thing about the three-point line is some people just want to shoot there because they see the line. Just because the line's there don't mean you got to shoot from behind it. And just because you're a guard don't mean you got to shoot threes. If your coach wants you to shoot threes, it's probably because he knows you can make threes. If he knows you can't make threes, he's not going to put you in a position where you got to shoot them. He may ask you to try to develop it on the side. At that point, you need to just develop your strength. Let your overall body strength grow. If you do strength training, if you don't, you can get the strength training hoop handbook. But overall, just because you're a guard, again, for the third time, you don't have to shoot threes. Look at Tony Parker. Look at Chris Paul. Yes, they do shoot threes, but they don't need to shoot threes. They'll shoot a three if they're wide open only. Otherwise, they can get the ball into the paint. Look at a Russell Westbrook. These are guys that are all-stars in basketball at the highest level. They're not shooting threes, even though they had a ball in their hands all the time and they're playing guard. So what you can do is develop the rest of your game. You can be good at basketball without shooting a bunch of threes. So if you're not good at shooting threes, which it sounds like you're not, let your body strength develop over time. And once you get strong enough to shoot threes, then work on it. You don't need to start shooting mid-range. You don't need to move backwards. Once you move closer, work on getting to the rim. If you can't make threes, develop it on your own on the side. Like I said, I got the strength training hoop handbook coming. But overall, you can be a very good player, a great player at that. Look at Tony Parker. Look at what he's doing in the playoffs right now. He don't shoot threes. He shoots maybe 1-3 a game. And that's only if he's wide open or end of the shot clock. And you can do the same thing. Keenan from Sydney, Australia. I'm going to high school next year. I'm going to try out for the open team. My brother's encouraging me to train more. And I'm trying, but it's really hard. I'm the captain of my school team, and coach expects a lot from me, so can I tell him how to work on his handling? Because I just started playing basketball last year. Well, Keenan, if you want to work on your ball handling, go to my channel and click on the ball handling playlist. Watch all those videos and do everything you see me doing. Or you can get the ball handling hoop handbook, or you can get the ball handling DVD. If you want to work on your handle, it's all there for you. It's already done. Nothing else that I need to tell you. Just do what I just said. Next question. Jeff Birch from Denmark. He's 16. He's at the height of basketball level in Denmark. He wants to start playing in better leagues, but that will require him to go overseas or move to another country. So he's asking me, what is my experience of going to another place and playing there? Well, Jeff, first of all, when I went to other places and played, I was an adult. I wasn't 16. So I don't really know what your experience would be like. You should probably speak to your parents or the coaches of whatever team you play for. If you're at the height of basketball in Denmark, then that means some people that know about playing ball abroad in other countries, they probably know who you are or you have access to them. So what you need to do is go talk to them and ask them, hey, what would it be like if I do this? What country could I go to? What club could I play for? Because like you said, you're at the height of it, which means people should know who you are, or you should know who they are, or you should be able to get in touch with them somehow, some way. Or you can ask your parents to do so if you're at the height, as you say. And then you can find a country to go to, being that you're from Europe. Somebody that's in Europe that has that experience in the basketball arena could probably give you better information than I could. Next question. I need help working on my shot. All right, before I even get to the rest of this statement, no, you don't need help working on your shot. If you do need help, your help is coming from you. It's not coming from anybody else. You need to go get in the gym and get some shots up. But let me read the rest of this person's question. I can finally handle the ball and dunk. I'm going to high school next year, and I want to make the team. All right, so you can handle the ball and you can dunk, but you need help working on your shot. Well, how did you get good at handling the ball and dunking? You probably practiced it till you got good at it. So you need to do the same thing with your shot. You don't need help. You need to help yourself. Kenny from Ohio. Have you ever missed a game winner or choked? I'm not sure. I probably missed a game winner before, a shot that would have won the game, but I missed and we didn't win the game. Sure, it's happened. Not anything like big that sticks out. Next question, Steven from Canada. What do I drink after a workout? Does chocolate milk really help? Help with what, Steven? I don't mean what you mean by help. Chocolate milk is chocolate milk. And if you like chocolate milk, drink chocolate milk. If you don't, don't. After a workout, I'll drink water, I'll drink Gatorade. Pretty much that's it. If there's anything wrong with chocolate milk, not that I know of. If you like it, drink it. Next question. Kelvin from Minnesota. When did I stop growing and how tall are my parents? I stopped growing around 21. How tall are my parents? I don't know. That has no bearing on you or your life or how tall you're going to be. Next question. What are some workouts to become a more consistent shooter? Get the shooting hoop handbook. Next question. Can I give some advice on getting better at skipping for basketball? And do I think it's useful? I don't know what you mean by skipping. I'm guessing you mean jumping rope. And there's no advice I can give you. If you want to do it, do it. I have videos posted of myself doing jump rope workouts. So you can look those up and watch them. Follow them if they work for you. Take a part of it if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, that's also fine. Next question. Any advice? This is the last question. Any advice on conditioning for basketball? I just started jogging every day. I have videos on conditioning for basketball. Go to my channel, just search conditioning, and you'll see all the stuff I said about conditioning, the programs I got on conditioning, the videos I got on conditioning, and the hoop handbook on conditioning. It's all out there. All right, that's all the questions, everybody. Thank you for coming through Q&A Thursday number 3. If you have questions, you can leave them in the comments to this video. As I said in the beginning of this video, somebody addresses me with a question, and you come in here answering and responding to questions, you will be removed from the premises, and you will not be back. That's just the way it is here in this establishment. Look out in the next couple of weeks for the next Q&A video. Strength Training Hoop Handbook is on the way. There will be a video announcement. You got to make sure you're subscribed so you see all the videos, and if you miss one, go back and watch it so you don't ask me a question I already addressed in the video. Almost everything y'all asked me about I already did in the video. Go to my channel and search. Just go on YouTube, type in my name and search. I got it covered. 2,500 plus videos. We're on our way to 1 million. That's that. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. You watch me work on my game, now it's time to work on yours. The Hoop Handbook is a series of workout programs straight from my own personal experience working out and training on every aspect of basketball. Ball handling, shooting, scoring moves, scoring over bigger defenders, the crossover, post moves, your weak hand, off the court training, dunking, vertical, all of it's covered. All you got to do is follow the program step by step. The Hoop Handbook. And as he comes back to your right, you just reach the ball right over his head and finish the shot.